What's going on, gang? CJ Curry here, back with another PrizePicks video. Listen, there's a ton of value on today's PrizePicks board. I've got 4 different plays and a couple of different pivot options in case some of these plays get bumped up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, get subscribed. We're on our way to 22,000 subscribers. I appreciate everybody who's joining me on this sports betting journey. We're looking at PrizePicks today, and if you're not playing on PrizePicks, guys, code Curry still gets you that 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $100. Use the special link down in the description below if you want a free bet on PrizePicks. Now, yesterday's video, we did decent. Chet Holmgren ended up coming through with those 3 or more assists. And Tyler Herro, unfortunately, did not see a lot of run late into the game, especially in the fourth quarter. He ended up finishing at 7 rebounds and assists, falling 1 rebound and assist shy. So we'll see if we can get back on track. Speaking of getting back on track, let's see if we can get today's video over 199.5 likes. We fell short yesterday. I'm coming strong today with 4 different PrizePicks plays. So I need your help, I need your support. If you love what I do here for you guys each and every day, like the video, share it with somebody that plays on PrizePicks or that's into NBA player props. All right, without further ado, time is of the essence. We know that these picks don't last long, that the early value tends to dry up pretty quickly. PrizePicks likes to bump things up, bump things down, remove things off of the board. So let's talk about the very first play. It's Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. He's going up against the Miami Heat. We're looking at his points, rebounds, and assists at 33.5. And the reason we're looking at this one is because if you head over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, you go down here and look at Victor Wembanyama. You can see that at 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists, he's got over a 54% chance as of about 7 a.m. Eastern time of going over this PRA line. You're already starting to see some of these sports books offer Victor Wembanyama at 34.5 PRA, like Pinnacle, FanDuel, DraftKings, etc., meaning their lines makers think Wembanyama is going to land on 34 to 35 points, rebounds, and assists, meaning we're getting some value here on PrizePicks. He's a whole point lower at just 33.5 PRA. So 54% chance to hit. Obviously, that doesn't mean it's a 100% chance. 54 is a long way away from 100, but when they set these lines, they set them at a 50-50 proposition. In other words, they try to set it to as close of a coin flip as possible. So in this case, we'll take the 4% edge or advantage in our favor. Now, when you go and take a look at Victor Wembanyama's game logs here at 33.5 PRA, you're probably going to like what you see because out of the 44 games in which Wembanyama has appeared, he's gone over this line in 28 of those games, which is good for a 64% hit rate, averaging 33.8 PRA for the season. Things look even better when you look at the last 30 games. That hit rate shoots all the way up to 73%, 22 out of 30 games he's hit in the last 30, 35.6 PRA. And then you could also take a look at a snapshot of his last 15 games where it's super green, 87% hit rate. 13 out of his last 15 games, he has cleared this line. And then you take a look at the head-to-head matchup. He's going against the Miami Heat. Last time he played the Heat was back in November. Ended up with 36 points, rebounds, and assists in that game. So Victor Wembanyama definitely looks like he's in a good position to clear his points, rebounds, and assists line. Now, inevitably, things tend to get bumped on PrizePicks. So if this line gets bumped, which it probably will, as most of my picks tend to get bumped, you could slide over to the rebounds as an alternative at 9.5 boards. He's done a pretty good job for the most part, clearing the rebounds at 9.5. And he hit the rebounds against the Miami Heat in their earlier matchup with 11 boards. So if you can't get the PRA at 33.5, then use the rebounds as a pivot option. Now we're going to take a look at the projections here for Victor Wembanyama. We're going to go over to RotoWire. RotoWire, one of my favorite projection sites, one of my favorite projection tools. They've got Victor Wembanyama's PRA at 32, which is a little on the low side, but if you come down and look at the rebounds, his rebounds are sitting at 10.8. Now, I like to look at multiple player prop projections, and so we're going to go over here to another one of my favorite sites, which is going to be Fantasy Labs and their action projection tool. Now, they've got a much healthier projection for Victor Wembanyama, 37.6 points, rebounds, and assists. So they have him going well over the 33.5 line that we're currently seeing over on PrizePicks. Now, if you're considering the rebounds, well, the rebounds look really good here too over on Fantasy Labs, they've got him at 11.8 projected board. So for me, Victor Wembanyama, if you can't get the PRA at 33.5, well, you can pivot over to the rebounds. I think that makes for a fine option. Let's talk about our second pick, which is Emanuel Quickley of the Toronto Raptors, 22.5 points and assists. Now, he's got a great matchup today going up against the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte has been pretty bad all season long defensively, so we are going to try to take advantage here of this matchup. When we take a look at the Charlotte Hornets, the last 7 games, when they get matched up against point guards, guys, they are just giving up the points to point guards. Almost 32 points per game in the last 7 games. You got to love what you're seeing there. That is the second highest point per game average over the last 7 games. And then you slide over here and you look at the assists per game given up by opposing or by the Charlotte Hornets to opposing point guards. 10.3 assists per game. That is the 6th highest assists per game. So you can see why we're looking at Emanuel Quickley for more than 22.5 points and assists here. Now, when we take a look at his game logs, it's been a little hit or miss. He's been trying to find his footing here since being traded over to the Toronto Raptors from the New York Knicks. But overall, we're just going to look at the last 15 games, more of a recent sample size, 60% hit rate. 9 out of 15 games, he has hit the over at just 22.5 points and assists, averaging 23.1 points and assists per game. Now we go back over here to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, and there's a couple different ways you could play Quickley as well. His rebounds at 3.5 are currently 54.6% chance of him going over 3.5 boards. But again, I'm going to stick to the points and assists, but if the points and assists get bumped, guys, feel free to take the rebounds as a pivot play. His points and assists at 22.5, 53.8% chance of him clearing this line. You take a look at where he's at on all these other sports books, 23.5 points and assists. So PrizePicks coming in a little lightweight with just 22.5 points and assists. This is just one of those plays before a matter of time that will get bumped up to 23, possibly 23.5 points and assists. So take advantage for sure. Let's go take a look at some projections here on Emanuel Quickley. We know the matchup's great. We know that the hit rates are pretty solid, 60% in his last 15 games. What about the projections? 22.6 projected points and assists. So they got him going slightly over the 22.5 marker. We also talked about his rebounds. If you're interested in those, here's a projection on his rebounds, 4.35 projected boards on a line of 3.5. So you could take Quickley either one of those ways. Again, I think I'm going to go points and assists just based on how many points and assists that the Hornets are giving up to opposing point guards. Let's get you a second projection here for my guy, IQ, Emanuel Quickley. We type in his name over on Fantasy Labs. You see a very healthy projection of 27.1 points and assists. You gotta love it. Go over to the rebounds, take a look at those. Those are projected for 4. So Emanuel Quickley projecting very well today for both points and assists and rebounds. So for me, I'm gonna go PA, but if that PA dries up and it gets bumped up to 23 or 23.5, then feel free to take the rebounds. Those are plus EV as well, projecting well as well. So those are your first 2 picks. If you guys are looking for a community, guys, I got you. The Eyes on the Prize Discord in collaboration with Dub Club, we got you covered. If you want more picks, plays, and parlays than I could fit into a YouTube video for 67 cents per day, I got you covered. I'm providing multiple picks each and every day, 10 plus picks per day over in Discord. And on top of that, I might be covering NBA, but we got people covering soccer in there. We got people covering tennis in there, hockey in there, all the different sports. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, guys, check out the pinned comment down in the comment section below. I greatly appreciate all of your support. Back to PrizePicks we go. Let's wrap this video up. We got 2 more picks to take a look at. Jonathan Kuminga of the Golden State Warriors. He has been hot. He did let us down a couple days ago, but he bounced back in a big way. Hopefully today, he's feeling himself. We know Klay Thompson's looking pretty sad these days. He seems to have been taking a back seat to Jonathan Kuminga. And you hate to see Klay go down the road that he's going down. But nonetheless, Kuminga at 21.5 points and assists has been a great play, a cash cow for us recently. So let's go take a look at Jonathan Kuminga here on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. You can see right here, he's got a 54.4% chance of clearing his line of just 21.5 points and assists. Guys, I don't know what's going on early this morning, but some of these lines makers on some of these books have Kuminga at 22.5 points and assists And FanDuel's got him as high as 23.5 points and assists. So we're seeing 1 to 2 points of value here on Jonathan Kuminga's points and assists line. I love that kind of value. 1 to 2 points different versus PrizePicks. Feed me that, all right? Feed me that. So we know that Kuminga's a plus EV play. What about his game logs? Is he looking good here? Yeah, over the last 10 games or so, he's really done a great job of clearing the points and assists. Like I said, he has just been on a different level over the last 10 games or so. 80% hit rate in his last 10 games, 27.1 points and assists per game in that 10-game stretch. So Jonathan Kuminga has definitely been red hot. Like I said, he kind of failed us here against Atlanta with just 19, but then he bounced back in a big way against Brooklyn a couple days ago with 31 points and assists. So we're hoping Kuminga keeps things going today against the Philadelphia 76ers, who are sorely missing their guy, Joel Embiid. Taking a look at some of the projections here for Jonathan Kuminga. We're going to go back over to RotoWire. If you guys want to try RotoWire out, I've got a free all-access 2-day pass waiting for you down in the description of today's video. Click that link if you want to get your hands on this tool. It's a great tool. 22.4 projected points and assists for Jonathan Kuminga on a line of just 21.5. So we'll take the projection for the over. You see the hit rates are good. Pick'em sites are good. RotoWire, their projection's good. A lot to love here about Jonathan Kuminga. Let's go over here and check a second projection just so that we're crossing off all of the different options here. We want to make sure that we're being thorough for you guys. Jonathan Kuminga, 22.9 projected points and assists. So 2 projections for Jonathan Kuminga to go over 21.5 PA, which brings us to our very last play of the day. It's Ice Trae Young, who has absolutely been on fire. And you gotta imagine that now that he's been named to the All-Star team, as a reserve, nonetheless, as a fill-in for a couple guys that got hurt, that he's going to come out and he's going to try and prove himself. He's been proving himself a lot here over the last 15 to 20 games or so. So he's at 33.5 points and assists. And again, if we go back to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, you're going to see that this is definitely a plus EV play. One of the most optimal plays on the PrizePicks board as of 7:13 a.m. So 53.88% chance that he goes over 33.5 points and assists. But again, if this play gets bumped up, it probably will to 34.5 because he's at 34.5 on all the sports books. So once it gets bumped up, if you're still looking for a way to play Trae Young, you could pivot over to his points, rebounds, and assists at 36.5. His PRA on different books and sites is at 37.5. So we're getting a point of value on the points and assists and the points, rebounds, and assists. So whichever way you want to play Trae, it's a good way. All right, let me show you why. Taking a look at Trae Young's game logs here at 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. If you want to go that direction, you can. 67% hit rate, 40.9 PRA per game. Has been incredibly efficient at covering this line. We look at head-to-head matchups against Boston. He tends to get up when he's playing against the C's. The Celtics have not figured out how to slow Trae Young down just yet. Head-to-head over the last couple of seasons, guys, doing a great job. All right, nonetheless, 7 out of 9 games he's hit the over, 78% hit rate, and he's averaging a whopping 43.9 points, rebounds, and assists against the Boston Celtics, including one game from this season when he dropped 45 points, rebounds, and assists on their heads back in November. Now, we also mentioned the points and assists, right? So let's take a look at those. They're at 33.5 on PrizePicks. 67% hit rate for the season on that figure. 30 out of 45 times, he has hit the over. Good for a 67% hit rate, meaning out of every 4 times he takes, or out of every 3 times he takes the floor, he goes over in 2 out of 3 games. And he's currently riding a 6-game hit streak on the points and assists. So this is not a bad option whatsoever. You take a look at the head-to-heads versus Boston, same situation here. Head-to-head, he has done very well against the Celtics, averaging 40 points and assists per game, going over in 7 out of 9 games, 78% hit rate versus the Boston Celtics. So Trae Young playing some good basketball against the Boston Celtics head-to-head. All right, now that we know that the hit rates are good for the PRA and for the PA, let's take a look at those projections once again. We're going to go over to RotoWire. we're going to wrap this video up and let you guys run out and grab these picks. And you take a look at the RotoWire PrizePicks dashboard here. You got the PRA as their top option. It's got a 40.06 projected points, rebounds, and assists, which is very good, being that his line is just 36.5, projected for about 40 PRA. You got to love that projection. And you take a look at the second projection, which is his 33.5 points and assists. He's projected for 36 PA over on RotoWire. So two different strong options for you, PRA or PA for Trae Young. Both are projecting well. Now let's also take a look at where he's at here on the action projection tool. 39.6 points, rebounds, and assists. A little bit lower than RotoWire, but still more than enough for him to go over at just 36.5 PRA. We slide over to the points and assists, take a quick peek at that. Remember, he's at 33.5 on PrizePicks. We're getting a projection of 37 points and assists for Trae Young versus the Celtics there. So all of these picks are plus EV. They're all projecting favorably. They all have pretty solid hit rates. Trae Young for more than 33.5 points and assists, or PRA. Lots of different ways for you guys to go. I had to make up for yesterday's video. I hit you guys with 4 strong options and 2 strong pivot plays on Trae Young and Victor Wembanyama. Now it's your turn. Leave a like, leave a comment. Which of these picks are you liking? Let me know down in the comments section. And guys, if you're not subscribed, get subscribed and hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Good luck on all your picks, plays, and parlays. And if you want even more, come over and join us in Dub Club. Until next time, good luck.